Look there, Tiger Lords! Here comes the killer, an enemy, a servant of evil spirits. This person aims to disrupt our exalted mission.
This is my surprised face. Hi guys, Goldflobius, Fab Alex, IBM. What's up? I have been tired but productive. Thank you for asking. A little warm too. I was running around trying to get some errands done because I couldn't actually have time to nap there, so I just was trying to get some work done. Like you do. So I might be a bit more out of it than usual because I didn't actually lie down. So, I mean, honestly, really, this is where you're going with this?
One of our sisters is slain and the other is missing, probably never to be seen again. And the killer stands right before you. We trusted him, and this is how he repays us. Liar, traitor, murderer!
Yeah, pretty much, Goldflobius. I mean, I saved two of the sisters, and when I found the third, she was already dead.
Tiger Lords, haven't you had enough of this witch's speeches? Me, I am fed up with all her lies and half-truths. We keep dying here, and she won't even tell us what for, what we're trying to find here. If anyone wants to give their life for her gibberish, go ahead. Everyone else, start packing. We go back to Nomeria.
Betrayal, blasphemy! All who remain loyal to the great Armagh, to battle! Since we first met, you've given us nothing but lies and half-truths. You wouldn't even tell me your name. You probably believed me unable to learn who you are, and that your name and your crimes would remain a secret. You should have known that nothing stays hidden forever. Today you die, Baron.
Of course, now she learned my name somehow. And of course, the Raven's right freaking there. God damn it. Whatever. Die, 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 die. To quote one of my favorite Overwatch characters. Die, die, die.
Succeed, yours.
I'm waiting you out of
You done? Are we done here? God damn freaking stupid. Hey, whatever, entertainment. It's worth noting 4 of those aren't codified yet. But they probably will be. But in the interest of fairness, I'm not going to codify it yet. The game has days to change my mind. So IBM, I assume you mean the Imperial symbol, right? The one I have pinned to my shirt, or rather to my thing. So this is my symbol. I designed this many, many years ago, although it's gone through a few iterations over the years. I'm not sure when I originally designed it. It would have been somewhere in the 90s. I want to say 94 or 96. I'm not actually sure right now off the top of my head. But it is a form of a stylized number, which is supposed to be representative of me. But also everything that I idealize, the ideas of differences forming together into a greater whole. You know, effectively the IDIC concept, respect, tolerance, understanding, and also the ability to help and do good unto others without going into extremes. And like 50 other things, basically. And I started using it for the show since, in many ways, this show is effectively my life now. And, well, you need some kind of emblem, right? So anyways, that was awful. Hi, Dartrinius.
I'll go ahead.
Hey, you want to buy all the stuff I just picked up? I'm sorry, I know that's a bit of a long, rambling answer, IBM, but I suppose that is what one should expect from me at this point in time. I suppose if I was to try and summarize everything I would just say, I would say that this symbolizes doing as well as being good. Because you need both. And there's, you know, the number 33 is representative in here, the number 7 is representative in here, and a few other things like that. It's something I spent a lot of time and thought and effort designing. Like I do with everything. Hey, more cowbell. And hello, Bragwin. I will admit there is a little bit of selfishness involved in making it the symbol for my show as well. Because it means I get to use it more often. And it also means that I could write off several aspects of this stuff as a business expense. Like actually making the physical pins, for example. Oh, that sucks, Blackfile.
They died meaningless deaths. But we could be friends, you and I, Baron. It always ends this way. Creatures like her breed ill blood between people. And then good fighters die for no reason. Disgusting. Look, it's not even a human. Right, she wasn't human at all. She was Fey. This is who our chieftain was listening to. We have nothing more to do here. We'll leave. But let me tell you why we came here in the first place. I've no idea what magic toy those witches were looking for, but I do know where to find it. We spotted the place long ago, but I didn't want to lead my people there. These incense burners from the tombs are the keys to the entrance. The place is called the Valley of the Dead, and for good reason. It's an unholy land, a cursed land. If there's something capable of devouring a whole city around here, that's where you'll want to start looking for it. And now, farewell.
Attack! No, I'm kidding, of course. I'm glad you got good Mexican food, Bragwin. And thank you, IBM. I know that not everyone is a fan of the Patreon system or Patreon in general, so I always take it as a compliment when someone, you know, subs to me on Patreon. But I should keep bringing her, right? Alright. I take your advice, Blackfile. You have yet to lead me astray. You've even been patient with me as I've been slowly getting more and more frustrated with this game. Now, IBM, I don't know if you're aware of this, but we are actually selling these pins. Selling. Basically, I'm not actually making a profit on them. All I'm asking is for people to cover shipping costs. Excuse me. I can't promise when I'll get that out to you. It's actually kind of a hassle for me to do. But if you're interested, just toss me an email with the information necessary, you know, the shipping information, at lorerunnershow@gmail.com. One word. lorerunnershow. At some point, I'm getting 3 more shipments printed out. And then, at some point in the future, I intend to go out and, you know, get those mailed out. There it is. But then suddenly, with the amazing power at his disposal, he teleports his people around. Incredible power. Amazing power. So where's this place? Oh, that's way down there. Let's go here. No. I mean, if you think about it, the power to transport would actually be an incredibly useful power. Teleportation or portal magic would both be amazingly useful from a utility perspective as well as a tactical perspective.
I feel tired.
Damn it, that's one we can't skip. What? Unless... That's one of the reasons why I like... I think it's Greater Teleport is what it's called now. It used to be called Teleport Without Error. And it was called that for a very specific reason. Because you would teleport without error. Damn it, it's that frickin' raven.
I've got a message for you.
Yeah, no splinching. Hi, Night Forager. And hi, Roaring.
It's time to pull off the masks and answer for your deeds. My master has seen enough, so he summons you. Come, kneel before this land's true ruler. Embrace suffering, embrace pain. Surrender your spirit to Mordecai, the chosen of the 4 horsemen, and the keeper of the Oculus of Abaddon.
Oh, Failbadon? Oh, I've got nothing to worry about then. Whew, thank goodness. Apparently Abaddon's a location in this one. No. Hi, Tazara. So, Tazara, I get the feeling that I didn't explain myself properly. So, thank you for the headphones. They hurt my ears for prolonged usage. So, while I am grateful for them, I ended up basically not using them. They're in my backup pile, which is right over there. But thank you nevertheless. I do appreciate the thought and effort involved. They were good quality. They just hurt my ears. And yes, I tried them both with and without the foam. But that's why I'm back to these things. I like good sound quality, but for streaming, I need stuff I can wear for 4 hours at a time. And hi, Bjorn. Oof. Okay, so. What do you mean by seen enough?
I'm the eyes and the ears of my master. Everything I see or hear, he sees and hears as well. All we speak of, all your deeds, nothing escapes my master.
Hang on, he's the chosen of what?
The 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, the rulers of Abaddon, archdemons, harbingers of death and destruction. The greatest, the horseman of death, Charon, deemed Mordecai worthy and granted him a gift. The Oculus of Abaddon.
You know, Magra Varn was ruler of these lands. I'm just saying, your master stole something that didn't belong to him.
Magar Varn and his minions were impostors without rights and honor. Soon, the empire of Mordecai will rise from its 1,000-year sleep and reclaim its lands. One such as you will serve this future in life or in death.
I feel like that's my line.
Yes, and it was well-deserved punishment. One who dwelled in that town stole what was not his to possess. He trespassed in the Master's sanctuary, defiled it, and brought what he stole to the place you call Varnhold. By doing so, he incurred the wrath of my master.
But what happened to Varnhold? Where'd the people go?
My master's knowledge and power are great. The Oculus of Abaddon has granted him even greater power.
It was the Oculus that brought about his revenge over the impious ones.
Anyways, I mean, I'm down with it, Roaring. You know, I think it's well-deserved. I honestly wasn't even thinking about Titanic in reference to it. It shattered a lot of records that don't have anything to do with Titanic, if you know what I mean. So where is your master? I'm not particularly afraid of him.
Go to the Valley of the Dead. Pass the gates and face the challenges that await. If you survive, my master will meet you in his sanctuary.
Okay, so what's in the Valley of the Dead?
The gates bar the entrance to the Valley of the Dead. Only the one who has the key or sacred knowledge can pass. Once my master barred the valley from the outer world and the lesser races such as yours. Thus my master could focus upon his research and rule the Empire without the pathetic rebellions and petty wars of your kind. You have a choice. Find 3 incense burners hidden in the tombs of traitors who imprisoned my master in his sanctuary, or conjure darkness, which is able to open the way to the Valley of the Dead. This way or another, you will be able to pass the gates, and my master will seal your fate.
Okay.
I have no doubts about that. I'll meet you in the sanctuary.
I hope so, Roaring, but that's just me. I've always thought Avatar never earned its place in the best-selling list.
Wait. We need to talk.
What?
The Valley of the Dead the Raven spoke of. I know it. An ancient evil is buried there, from empires since turned to dust. Being cautious is not enough. If you go there, you must tread quietly, or you shall awaken dark things indeed.
I mean, did you not just listen to that guy? I think that's literally why we're going there.
A tomb lies in the heart of the valley. That is where the evil sleeps. I know I cannot sway you from going, but if you must go, please let me help you. My faith may help when spells and steel may not.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Come with me. That's why I put you in my party. Yeah, true enough, Hieronymus. He hasn't leveled in a while. Let's be boring for a minute here. Whoop, wrong one. I don't know. Hello, Aleph. Welcome to hell. No, I'm kidding. Hopefully. Okay.
Can we have a moment of respite?
No. I had a burrito. A little Taco Bell burrito. It was excellent. No, it was a Taco Bell burrito. What can I say about it? Save.
I feel tired.
I get those because they are easy to reheat, they last a while, and they are cheap. Woo, I actually made a good meal for once. Okay. Exactly. I'm not sure what's up with these shells, though.
Your wish granted.
Oh yeah, I meant to check that. Do I actually have... No, I do not. Okay, whatever.
Tread lightly.
Okay. Aw. I hope he likes it, Roaring. I hope he gets it. I've actually already ordered Mum's Mother's Day present, but I don't know when it's going to get there because it's a custom shirt and those take time. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of the dead. Wait, though I walk in the shadow of the valley of the dead, I fear no evil.
I'm not afraid.
Oh no, Cyclopses. Yes, I have, Aleph.
Aaron Ray, be generous to them, for I am not.
Done and done.
I like how this is all just a bunch of proper ruins. I know what you're saying. What do you mean proper ruins? Well, usually ruins in video games are like... It's still a mostly coherent structure, but, you know, you can actually see the piece of it or not. Here, there's literally chunks of rock that have just sloughed off and are making a pile of bricks. That's proper ruins right there. I like that. Sorry, weird thing to comment on, I know. Well, time to go kill Death or a demon or whatever. Frickin' demons. I hate demons.
I need to catch my breath.
No, don't worry, I'm not going to make the joke. I just hate demons. Like, can we name any setting where demons are cool? Anything. Ever. Except for the Personas and the Shin Megami Tenseis. Those don't count. Honestly, they're not really cool there either, for being honest. Oh god, it's another one of these places. He knew I would be a worthy servant. Sure. When a demon says you'll make a worthy servant, that's rarely a good thing.
An expected result.
Sorry, daemon, not demon. My bad. I don't know what the difference is in this setting. Nothrazim are interesting, but I don't think I can name a Nothrazim that I would be okay with.
I shall end this suffering.
This is my surprised face.
No contest.
There is still time for surrender.
Training pays off. I see something. I did as you asked.
How curious.
So I'm guessing this is one of the daemons that the ogres, or excuse me, the Cyclops were worshipping back in the day. No, so, okay, you probably missed it, but earlier there was a thing indicating there was a sickly sweet smell barely wafting up from the floor. And then as soon as I say, oh, I'm ready to go forward, this fog of death enters the room. Like, yeah.
What a surprise.
Shock.
I did as you
Actually, there are some demons who are okay over in Legions, or in World of Warcraft, so I'll give you that.
We will prevail.
Look at me, Gorum! What for Gorum?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. There's some setting or another where that's true, and it's not Faerun, but it's something based on standard D&D, where you have lawful evil, chaotic evil, and neutral evil for devils, demons, and daemons.
It's clear.
Okay. Oh, alright. This sounds safe.
That was easy.
I'm impressed. You still breathe.
You know, you realize I'm going to get to your master, even if I have to fight my way through hell, and Abaddon, and the Abyss.
So determined. Such pathos. Who are you trying to impress with this false bravado?
Well, honestly, Valerie, because, you know... I mean... No one! What are you talking about?
Your companions, perhaps? Just send them home, if they are not prepared to meet doom itself. Or maybe there's a true hero among them, who'd agree to follow you into the jaws of death. Come, tell me who.
Ah, right. Sorry, I couldn't remember who Volgrim is. I had to look that up. Yeah, Volgrim's alright, I guess. Honestly, there's several demons who are fine in Darksiders. Generally, yes, IBM. Although for the longer, slower-paced games, we tend to stray. The only thing I ask, the one rule I have, is no off-topic spoilers. So, we could spoil stuff about Pathfinder and about this game in particular up to this point, right? You know, I could freely say, the Stag Lord was just a drunk who was abused by his father. You know, spoiler, there you go. Right, bam. But what I cannot say is, it was his sled! Or something equivalent. Because that's off topic, right? That's just the rule. That's all. So, yeah, I was going to say, my first thought was to not give them names, but I'm going to trust Blackfile, unless he's trying to get me killed. We'll choose Jaethal.
I'll remember your name.
God damn it. Names, names, names. And we're dealing with daemons. Thanks, Blackfile. Getting me killed. I see how it is.
Face me if you dare.
Ah, well.
There is no time for surrender. Forgive me.
What's that? You see that?
Ray, be generous to them, for I am not.
I did as you asked. Done and done.
You're going to have to actually elaborate on that one, Ella, because I don't know what you're talking about. Like,
I did as you asked.
I'm well familiar with Faerun. I mean, I did a whole lore run on Faerun.
Let's head out.
But,
This requires your attention.
yeah. Why am I giving them my names?
I did as you asked.
Interesting. On this bas relief, a cyclops clad in ceremonial robes raises a luminous scepter aloft, the oculus of Abaddon, a gift from the Horseman of Death. At the feet of the cyclops crawl numerous people who kneel or prostrate before him. Nice place. That's a lie. This place is awful. So the last time, they flooded the room with poisonous gas. Now they're just flooding the room with water. water, sand, and mud from the riverbed, as well as some underwater plants and some scared fish that weren't fast enough to escape. Right. Oh no, go for it.
How curious.
There's no upsetting me. Like I said, off-topic stuff is extremely normal.
Done and done.
The only time I am actually anti-off-topic stuff is if I am in the middle of discussing something in the middle of a lore run, which I am not, and this is not. So, by all means, hit me.
You cannot stand against me.
There is still time for surrender.
Okay, I got you, Aleph.
My skills exceed
That almost sounds like they turned devils into what demons were. So I suppose the follow-up question is, how were devils back before the Blood War?
Scared? You should.
See, like, this is a great time for off-topic topics, because I have nothing to do right now. I could literally just munch on a carrot right now. And I will. Have you eaten your carrot today?
For I am
What's that?
Brace yourself. The throne room is near. Are you ready to meet Great Vorticai? Are you ready to accept the gift of serving my master?
I got a better question. Is he ready to die?
My master awaits. But before you enter his presence, Vorticai has no use for the weak, nor any who beg for mercy. But he sees value in using such souls as heralds for his coming. The question is, who is weakest among you? Who should be sent away, disregarded? Pick the weakest among you to fly from here in fear and serve Vorticai in their flight. The great Vorticai will let them keep their lives, but makes no promises after this.
Okay, Valerie. You have lost rep with Valerie. What? No! No! Evil. I mean, sorry. Clearly I am incredibly evil. You're gonna have to remind me of that film, Papanix, because I haven't seen that film in an incredibly long time. Like, I saw that as a kid. That's one where they robbed 3 casinos in Vegas at once, right? I'm kidding. I know it's not that one.
I did as you asked.
Hey, it's an Astro Demon. I remember her, Aleph.
I'll go ahead.
The succubus who wasn't. Put simply. I mean, I could say more about her, but that's really what it boiled down to.
The path is clear.
Who are you? Answer my question. No, it's Libertas! I knew it! Why would you take the form of an Astra Demon? Why?
wish there was another way.
Oh, time to kill Libertas. Oh, well, that was quick. Okay. Whew, alright, we're good, we're good. He didn't even drop any loot. Libertas, come on! No loot, really? Well, that's okay. I'll take the sub instead. Thank you very, very much. As always, and as ever, much appreciate those subs and your support. Now, if you would like to put that towards something in a future stream that you're interested in, just let me know. God, that still doesn't sound familiar. Papa Neeks! Hey, Muhammad Elvis. Who are you? We came from Numeria, Dugoth's group. Oh, wow. I can actually kill him if I'm evil and stupid. I decide. Well, thank you again, sir. Well, I mean, honestly, it wouldn't, IBM. If you think about it, an inordinate amount of Hollywood problems would be solved. It would never happen, basically, in real life. Well, we are, in many ways, very incompetent when it comes to security in real life. At the same time, there are some extremely basic precepts in place that more or less ensure that certain fictional stories could never have even started. And that's just another of them. I'm curious how that has to do with droid effect, though.
Done and done.
Requires your attention.
That is a lot of traps.
Oh, look!
That is a lot of traps.
I did as you asked. I see.
Oh my god. Look at the traps. There are traps everywhere.
Done and done.
There.
Oh, look! I did as you asked.
I mean, it's only like 240 XP each thing.
Done and done.
Final Fantasy VI is my favorite game of all time. Yes, Roaring. Although someday I'm going to have to do an in-depth classic of it, and we'll see how much it holds up. Which I'm admittedly a little nervous to do, but whatever.
Done and done.
I was so tempted to do that in-depth classic off-camera, actually.
I did as you asked.
Mostly because I imagined there was no way I could do that without people accusing me of being biased one way or the other.
I did as you asked.
I already hear from plenty of people that FF6 is a... what do you call it? Not overhyped. There's a term for that.
I did as you asked.
There's a term. No, I do not, Papa Neeks. I don't even remember the story right now. Overrated. That's the term. Overrated. I've heard many times over the years that FF6 is overrated. I'm thinking it'll get probably 3 or so, maybe just 2, Zilok. I don't know. Depends. That is something I would not want to fight normally. A raging, greater dread zombie cyclops. Yeah, that just sounds like fun, don't it?
You think
I'll try to make this swift.
Tear them apart!
Forgive me.
done and done.
And of course they're using our names.
Guide my hand.
Because, damn it. I mean, I do the same with several movies, Roaring. I consider the Lord of the Rings trilogy to be my favorite movie. And I stand by that to this day. I could watch those films now, and just, I'd be down for that, you know? Ah! so only they can attack them. That's cute.
Solid plan.
I wonder if my minions can. Honestly, no, I don't think Hal suffered from droid effect. I really don't. I think Hal was actually fairly basic, what I like to call VI, not true AI, and something that simply was stuck in a fairly basic, you know, as you say, a recursive loop. Yeah, I hate to use the term overrated, and I try to avoid doing so. Because in my experience, usually when someone says such and such is overrated, they don't actually mean it. No, I'm serious. They're just saying that because either they don't like it, and therefore they're being intentionally or unintentionally more aggressive about unliking it than they normally would because they're sick of hearing about how great it is. In other words, pendulum effect. Or they're just trying to be cool or edgy or different by not liking something that is popular. And in my experience, one of those two things is true when people tend to say that. I don't think he was genuinely scared for his life at all. No, like I said. I think at absolute most he was a fairly base-level construct. Now, I don't mean that as an insult per se, but if I was to compare him to something with more actual sentience and sapience, like, to use a direct example, the Doctor from Star Trek Voyager, there's no comparison there. My take. Agreed, Aleph. It's like, it's a form of a passive-aggressive insult. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if, kids liked that kind of a game. Or, oh god, I don't know. I'm actually really bad at passive-aggressive insults, although I hear them all the time. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like, implying that there's something wrong with you for liking or not liking something.
Done and done.
I've heard that my whole life. My whole damn life, since I was a frickin' kid.
I did as you asked. Done and done.
One of my ex-girlfriends is really big at that, too.
I did as you asked.
Yeah, I used to like that as a kid, but, nowadays...
I did as you asked.
I mean, we could rewrite Mass Effect 3 many, many times, and we have. But I'm with you on that one, Roaring. I've also tried to shift further and further away from calling something... no, Aleph. From calling something, a garbage game or a trash movie or whatever. Like, I try not to do that nowadays, because invariably there's going to be someone out there who likes it, and I don't want to unintentionally insult that person. Because it's not my intent. And thus, if I say something's a garbage game, it's usually because I feel safe doing so. Red Hell Retribution, excuse me. Or Sonic 06. Oh, Roaring knows. I mean, I'm pretty sure Roaring came into the show sometime around the Mass Effect 3 debacle. Do you count Andromeda in that? Hey, Dream Whisperer. Oh, that's a lot of corpses in a lot of water, which is a very bad thing.
I shall end this suffering.
No contest.
Be generous.
But no, what you're thinking of, Aleph, is how Final Fantasy VI when it came out here in the States, was actually listed as Final Fantasy III. But we haven't used that nomenclature in 20 years, honestly. We are well past the point where that's common knowledge. So in other words, if you hear someone say FF3, nowadays, they're referring to FF3, not FF6. And similarly, I will only refer to it as FF6, and blah, 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 blah. You get it. Now, it gets a little bit more complicated with that, because then there's a few games which are even worse. Like, for example, in the United States, there's a game that came out called Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. Now, we could say a lot about that game, but that game came out in Europe as well. It was the first Final Fantasy game to come out in Europe. And there it was called Final Fantasy Adventure. But the reason... see, the thing is, there's also a Final Fantasy Adventure here in the States. Now, Final Fantasy Adventure in the States is a Game Boy game, which also happens to not be a Final Fantasy game. It's actually a Seiken Densetsu game. So, you can see how there's still issues here and there, because companies and naming apparently just don't make sense. Like, why would you have a logical naming scheme for your games? That's just insanity. We should just call every new game the same title as the first one. As an aside, that's just one of my biggest pet peeves. Even good games do that. God of War. No, it's God of War 4. But it's God of War. No, it's not. God of War came out years ago on the PS2, you bastards. Well, in that case, do you want to play, Resident Evil 4? You mean Resident Evil 13? No, Resident Evil 4. How about Doom? You mean Doom 4? No, it's called Doom. No, it's called Doom 4. It's the 4th Doom game! God, it drives me nuts when gaming companies do that. Movies do this sometimes too, but games are just awful about that. It was the Dragon Age lore one. I knew it was a while ago, Roaring. I remembered. I just didn't remember how long ago. That was that was one of our earlier lore runs. Oh no, you're articulating your thoughts perfectly well, IBM. I get you. I mean, one of the recurring fictional themes, and this goes back before computers existed, is the idea of an outside source that has power over us. You know, something that has grown beyond our control.
How curious.
And the whole, you know, AI thing is just the latest expression of that fictional concept. And it's a horrifying concept. It basically boils down to one of the most basic human concepts that there is. Not being in control. Not being, being powerless, in other words. Being helpless. Mazes.
What a surprise. I did as you asked.
Okay, I'm just staring at you, Platty, because you just asked me a very strange question. I think you're making a joke.
Done and done.
And yeah, how many Hitman 2s do we have?
Let's head out.
Sometimes it gets truly ridiculous. Not that I want to talk about the quality of the game itself, but there's a game out there called Devil May Cry, Devil May Cry. That's actually it's DMC Devil May Cry. And
How curious. I did as you asked.
and I thought the ATM machine was bad.
Done and done.
This is a long dungeon, my goodness. With surprisingly little loot, or at least good loot in it. A lot of money loot, which is great, because I'm going to need the build points when I get back home. No real loot yet. Come on. There you go. Oh, okay. Well, there's no way out of here. Whew. Thank goodness that's off. Pin number. ATM machine is the one that tends to amuse me the most, even though it does actually make sense.
Let's give them
Yeah, that's right. We're playing an RPG game. That's true. Do you guys like RPG games? Because I do.
Be generous to them, for I am not.
Running won't help you!
For the record, Dragon Quest, Platy.
Down better ones.
Like, in-universe or as a writer, IBM? Oh, CRPG computer games are the best. Much better than CRPG console games.
To arms!
Exceed yours.
You cannot stand.
Well, awesome, Roaring. The more people that get into Dragon Age, the better, as far as I'm concerned. Although that's another one that a lot of people say is overrated. Especially Dragon Age Origins. But that gets into the problems we talked about earlier. Hey, Sonic Doctor. What's going on? Yeah, you see this kind of endless combat we're doing right now? This is kind of why there's 4 negatives that I added. This is pretty much exactly why.
Submit.
So... if from an in-universe... From an in-universe... Hang on, IBM. Let me get back to you. Willis Gunderson, do you remember me? You once sought my help in the Isle of Candlemere. How did you end up here? He was wandering through the mountains searching for something that would allow him to prove his worth, make others sit up and take notice. A little respect. People always used to talk about some ancient ruins in the Tors of the Levines. But all I found was pot shards and rubble. So the next morning I decided to head to Varnhold and from there to Restov. Then something happened. I can't tell if it was a dream or if it was as someone had set a compass needle behind my eyes and was pointing me in another direction. So I went through the darkness and ended up outside this damn tomb. Lawful evil. You attacked me first. Whoosh. Now you will pay. Sorry. Why do you still remain in this world? I tried to leave. I feared to. I did all I could to be a decent man, but what if it wasn't enough? What if Pharasma decides to cast me down to be eaten by demons? No, I'm not ready yet. I need to think, to work up my courage. I need... Hang on, what happened to the tomb? I just wanted to take a look. I know it was foolish, but I saw this bracelet entirely of jade. An entire fortune worn on the wrist. I could have taken it, but I couldn't resist, so I snatched it and fled before some dead thing crawled from the tomb. I returned to Varnhold and gave the bracelet to Magar. I expected he'd pay me a good sum of gold, but before I could get the reward, it came for us. If you remember, the Raven mentioned that the reason Varnhold was cursed was because of the fact that someone there was a thief who stole something from this tome, so... Now, you could say that the Raven actually has a case here, but I'm just going to say disproportionate retribution and move on. Varnhold citizens left of their own free will, by the will of someone else, to be precise. I was among them. I remember that ringing voice in my head, like an emperor, giving orders no one would disobey. So I did everything it demanded, and so did the others. Great, so that's the second time they've mentioned that this Demon Lord has a either really high charisma score, or actual magical compulsion. Vortikai, he's evil incarnate. He blamed us for stealing what was his, and then tore souls from our chests and imprisoned them. As for the bodies, you'll find them in the next room in the dining hall. He's a Cyclops Lich. He is their dead emperor, an ancient creature, perhaps the most ancient creature in all Galarian. He hates humans, dwarves, elves, and the lesser races, the slaves, he calls them. He can twist our minds and crush our wills to dust. He boasts he'll conquer the world, but I think the centuries have taken their toll, weakened him as he lay sleeping in this tomb. I don't believe he's all-powerful. It may be possible to beat him. Vortikai decided I deserved harsher punishment than the others. After all, I was the one who stole his bracelet, and the one who drew his eye. But he didn't torture my body. Instead, he raked his fingers through my mind, plucking out memory after memory. He made me confess every bad thing I ever did, every shame. He showed me how weak I was. And after he finished with me, he slit my throat with his finger. But I didn't die. He released my soul through the wound, so I might forever be amongst those who died as a result of my weakness. And so here I remain. It's what I deserve for all the grief and suffering I caused in life. I put my hand on his shoulder. You have suffered enough and paid the price for your mistakes. If, before you can travel to the River of Souls, you need forgiveness, I forgive you. Go in peace. You forgive me? But I did so much harm. Yet there is still hope for me beyond this world. He notices his form is fading, dissipating into the air. I hope the gods will be as merciful as you, Your Grace. Hang on, we gotta kill another zombie real quick. And another one. And another one. And another one. I should just say another 5 at this point. We done? Okay. So. Yeah, no, it's actually arguably gotten worse, Sonic Doctor, in answer to your earlier question. While our kit has obviously gone up, and the combat itself actually isn't bad, it's the number and quantity of trash, which is consistently being an issue. Can I rationalize it? I want you to... So I can think of 2 ways to rationalize it, Sonic. 1, get good and be hardcore. There's way 1. Because there are people who have that mentality, even though it makes no sense to me. Way 2, I can rationalize that, and this is a bit more forgiving, is the idea that... Imagine, if you will, that you get together to play Pathfinder Kingmaker with your friends, and you get through this encounter of 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 zombies, okay? Hang on. Now, if I was playing that legitimately, that would probably have taken maybe 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 4. So let's say I basically managed to do this dungeon tonight, and that's it. I feel like that's how this game was designed to be played. Not played in one long section, but rather you literally do a chunk, and then you put the game down. And then you do a chunk, and then you put the game down. Spacing it out like that, frankly, makes it a lot more bearable. Now, to answer you, IBM, let me scroll up here just a second. So, how would I do HAL differently, right?
We will prevail.
So here's another one. You see my point. In universe, HAL... Like, it would have been extremely easy to simply make HAL have an audio override. Like, that kind of thing actually exists nowadays. You know? That kind of thing has existed for some time, in fact. The idea of having an absolute override. Something that you just can't bypass. You know, if you hit Control, Shift, Escape on your computer as a software thing, you with very few exceptions, you have the ability to basically override whatever else is happening and deal with it, right? And of course, there's obviously the off switch, which is what he actually ends up doing in the film. But you get my point. Now, that being stated, that probably destroys some of the drama of the film. But at the same time, if I could be completely blunt, speaking as someone who has actually seen Space, etc., recently, semi-recently, like 3 years ago at this point, the point of the film was never HAL. I mean, he's the one who was the most meme, right? He was the most mimetic thing from that film, and thus the thing that most people remember. But he was not what that film was about. He was at best a side story in that film, you know? So I have no problem with him being a minor issue and being approached in a different way, rather than being a dilemma to be overcome, being an examination of where they have come, which is what most of the rest of the film is about. Which I suppose also answers how I would change it as a writer. Thank you very, very much, Hector Anthem. As always, and as ever, I appreciate those subs and support. Thank you, sir. If there's any future stream you'd like to put that towards, please just let me know. Exactly, Black Val. Kingmaker is definitely a long campaign, and it's designed to be that way. I'm not getting rid of these negatives. I do think this is bad game design. But I could at least see the mentality of play a bit, walk away, play a bit, walk away, play a bit, walk away, etc. I liked my our Shangaya edition stuff too, IBM. It's a shame that everyone shouted me down on that one. I sometimes wonder if I was to go back to Voyager, you know, now with a completely different audience and a much larger audience, and far more of a professional approach to this, because now this is my job. Back then, I was just doing it for fun, while on the side of my actual job. Nowadays, I'm doing this as my job. I find myself wondering if I was to poll people again about the Voyager, rewrites, if people would actually want me to not do them or do them, depending on preference. In fact, just because I'm idly curious, just as a little sample size, what do you guys think about that right now? Like, if I was to redo Voyager, which is something I actually want to do someday, would you want me to add in the rewrites or not? So there's the people of the town. That's great. Well, thank you, Hector. Now, that being stated, anytime you don't put it towards something, the market data I get out of that is that there's no future stream you're interested in. So if that's the truth, that's fine. Just let me know. So I'm not sure why they suddenly decided to attack me. If I wasn't actually on a schedule, I'd be tempted to do that fight without the cheats on, just to really get across how long these encounters can be. Like, that was probably a good 15-20 minutes of fighting if this was on normal difficulty and I wasn't cheating. Funnily enough, I've had a couple people who have been rewriting TNG as we've been going through it. It's been fascinating reading it. Cyberpunk. So noted. Thank you again, Hector.
I see something. I did as you asked.
So did I just screw myself over by killing all their bodies? Or is there no salvation for the people of Varnhold?
What a surprise.
I can't help but notice, and this is pure metagaming, but I can't help but notice that there are territories that I can claim in the Varnhold area. And that means that I will eventually be able to have lordship over those lands. But Varnhold is another barony, so Varnhold's probably screwed, is what I'm trying to say. In other words, the barony of Varnhold is probably just going to become another province of my barony. I noticed that very early on when we started exploring Varnhold, and it was like, okay, this place is done. That's good to know. Well, it wouldn't really be difficult, IBM. And I hate to say that, because I know that sounds like, oh, this game is super easy. But what I mean by that is, sincerely, the game isn't really that hard. It is unfair. It is brutal. But I don't want to call it difficult so much as it encourages, in fact, it basically requires you to really sit and spend time and effort on figuring out how an encounter should go, making sure you walk into the encounter correctly. The pre-buff thing, right? That's very big. This game is very big on making sure that you walk into encounter with buffs. Like I've got all this set up on my bar here. He gets haste. We got to get haste out. We got to get blur out. We could use greater invisibility for some sneak attacks if we wanted to. I would want her to be able to make sure she was doing where is it? Bull strength and enlarged person on her. I want him to make sure he's using prayer. You know, I actually do have buffs that, we've also got protection from alignment. We've also got protection from energy, both communal. You get the idea. So making sure it's like, okay, so make buff this, and make sure we got this going, and let's make sure to buff our fort saves, because we're fighting a bunch of undead, and we need to be using fire damage, and he actually has the ability to turn undead, so we're going to use channel positive energy damage undead, and she's going to be summoning extra adds to make sure to distract them for a time, and you get the idea. So yes, this game's combat can be a little tedious, and that's why we're cheating. And I stress that point because it's not about difficulty. The difficulty in this game is actually good. I've given it A+, and I might give it a second plus for it. It is the tediousness of combat that is the problem. But it's not like my opinion about gameplay is worth listening to anyways, right?
Curious.
I did as you asked.
Yeah, this also feels like a game that basically is expecting you to quick save before every encounter. So he says, this place feeds on doubt, despair, fear, loss. If we were to never see each other again, would you have any last words for me? Well, I would say that you were an ally and a friend. I could always count on your support, and, if it was within my power, I'd do all I could to keep you by my side. By the way, one of the options you can give is, would I spare last words for a chisel, a hammer, or any other tool? No matter how useful. Thus, cleric, I have none to spare for you. Because apparently I could just be a jackass in this game. We're not doing that, of course. We're going to be nice. Let's do this. I mean, I don't quite understand you, Fab Alex, but to make the point clear, there are plenty of games that I never get bored of playing, of the gameplay of them. You know? Even for longer games. And yes, of course I played SimCity 2000. I still remember my first city because it was really, really stupid.
Tread lightly.
Oh, hey, it's an ancient water elemental. Hey, what's up? How are things? Oh, there's another one. Why water? There's a third one. 3 ancient water elementals. Ah. You may or may not notice that despite cheating, Octavia almost died in that fight. Again, we're only doing one cheat because I don't want to cheat too hard. I really don't. It'd be harder to judge the gameplay, but we're probably going to turn those cheats off in a second because I smell a boss fight coming up. Oh my god, Bragwin. You're fired. Okay, this is probably a boss fight. Let's go ahead and save. Turn off the cheat. I'm going to demonstrate what I meant by pre-buffing, by the way. So I am reasonably certain there's going to be an encounter up here and then a boss fight. So what we're going to do is we're going to save really quick. City-state. No, I have not, IBM. So I'm going to have her buff this on her. And then I'm going to want to use my own. I'll use mine on her.
I won't let you
And then I want to use... We'll save that one for a second. It is more cowbell. But trust me, I could cheat so much more than this. I'm not, but I could. How much does that last? That lasts too long. What about you? That sucks. Okay. Let's go ahead and make sure power attack is on, lethal's off, cleave is off.
Don't hesitate.
I do want power attack on. I want cleave off. Leave that on. And let's see. Do I want to do that? Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So let's pause this on her. Okay. So buff, 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 buff. There's only one buff I didn't do.
He is here, Master. He came, O great Vordakai.
So he's just a Cyclops. I thought he was a demon for a while there, but a daemon, excuse me. I know he's beholden to a daemon.
An interruption? So, what disturbs my meditations?
That's interesting.
I was pondering what to do with this pathetic creature, Nagar Varn. This fool dared to claim the lands that belong to me. Can you see his soul? This emptiness of this vessel is all he rules now. The same fate awaits you. I kept Magar's body because I thought he might prove a servant. But no, your corpse kneeling before me will be of more use.
Interesting fact. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to actually advance the dialogue. The Raven and Vorticai have the same voice actor. In fact, they have the same intonation and everything. Yeah, I'm here to frickin' kill you, by the way.
The real evil comes from lesser races such as yours. Corpse flies that feed on my ancestral lands. I've already begun purging the empire of your kind, and you will watch as I extinguish each, one by one.
Blah, blah, blah.
Cannot stand
So now we do the short-term buffs. I do have the cheats off, right? Yep, okay, we're good. So we're going to do a short-term buff here. And we're going to do another short-term buff here. She's going to drop these over here. And then we're going to wait for a second. Oh, actually, I want him to scooch forward a little bit. Him to scooch forward a little bit. God, this freaking game. No, I want you. God, why does it keep freaking doing that? It's pissing me off. Okay, so. Where's Huge? Where's Huge? There they are. Let's go with Fire. I like Fire. Do you guys like Fire? What?
Enough, Vorticai. Come face your death. I'm the one who will sentence you.
I...
From a relic of a crumbled empire. A relic I steal. Curse you, Vorticai. Blinded by your faded power, I take your sight. Curse you, Vorticai. Thriving in your blind arrogance, I claim your eye.
Ew.
I must take it. Forgive me.
Okay, hold up. So... he's holding the Oculus of Abaddon, which is basically the source of a lot of the power that this idiot got, the gift that he got from Charon. So my options here are, don't, Tristan, as you said, evil can tempt anyone, you're stronger than it, fight it! Or I could say, give me the Oculus! Give me the ring! Cast it into the fire! Or I could say, I'll kill you for this, you traitor! I think we should go with the kill him thing. That sounds like a good option. No, the modern SimCity I prefer is Cities Skylines IBM, which I actually really enjoy. It's probably my favorite SimCity game of all time, honestly. I'm going to go ahead and try to appeal to him.
I cannot. It is not my will, but I am bound by a force greater than my own, and I must bring them the Oculus. But I can destroy it.
Then do it!
The one who can't see evil will smite an entity that tempts others. The messenger of good, deprived of sunlight, gains the power to dispel the darkness. Gah! Dawnflower! Healing light! Merciful Sarenrae, your servant and champion calls for you. Grant me the power to remove the last obstacle on the path of salvation. Grant me the courage to spare the world from the abomination that threatens it.
As light blazes through the tomb, and Tristan's hands become aflame with sunlight, he covers his eyes with his palms and utters a blood-curdling scream. Yeah, that scream, right there. Without taking his hands from his face, he slams his heel downward, shattering the Oculus of Abaddon beneath his weight.
Slow, Sarenrae. The price of faith is high. I shall never see your sacred light again. The end. The end of this nightmare. I'll accept punishment. Any punishment just to have it end. Only one last shackle remains, and this is done.
And then he portals out.
Oh, my sight, my eye, my gift from the depth of Abaddon. It's gone. Stolen.
Destroyed, actually.
Maggots. Wretched, pathetic creatures. I'll slay you. I'll slay you all.
No, you're dead, dude. I'm not even gonna try to tactics this. You're dead.
Serve your master one last time.
Thank you, Sugarbell. As ever and always, much appreciate your support. Thank you. If you'd like to put those bits towards something for a future stream that you're interested in, just let me know. Thank you.
After all I've done, after all I've achieved, after all the trials, still I fell, and to what? To a pathetic thing like you.
You did not understand the true power of this!
Worthless creature, proud in your ignorance. Do you even realize what you've done? You've doomed Mordecai to oblivion and all the power and secrets of the greatest empire ever known.
Okay, bye.
What a power, but what a stench.
Well, if you don't want to put it towards something, that's up to you, Sugarbell. Though, I feel like pointing out every time someone says that. This was a card that I got recently, Roaring. So, yeah, I do have this on my desk. So from a marketing data perspective, if you don't put that towards something, that means none of my future streams you're interested in, right? And that's fine, but I just want you to be aware of that. So, didn't you know, mighty Mordecai, that you should not open up your soul to everybody? The curse that Tristian put upon you struck your very essence, arrogance and lust for power.
You dare pronounce judgment on me? Oh, there is truth in your words. Curses strike harder if you empower them with the piece of the essence of the one being cursed. And I put my very self in my name. The name of a ruler and a vanquisher. The name I was cursed with. I was blind back then. More blind than I am now. And I lost the greatest gift I ever received from my patrons, the demons. Will I have to pay for such negligence?
Nah, I'm sure the demons will be super forgiving and understanding. I wouldn't worry about it. I have put it towards Ghost of Tsushima. Thank you again, Sugarbell. So, people of Arnhold.
Vermin, who came to my lands, who raked the land with their plows, pierced it with stakes to build their miserable shacks, desecrated the sacred tombs. First, they tore my lands from me, then broke into my sanctum and stole what was mine. I was enraged when I awakened, but the Oculus of Abaddon gave me the answers I needed. It calmed me, focused me. It was powerful enough to seize control over all who lived in that wretched settlement. They came to me, one by one, to be slaughtered.
I fed upon their minds to make sense of this renewed world. The thoughts they held were enough for me to conclude the world is ready for my return. The world needs my return. You look at me as if I committed some blasphemy. Hardly. They defiled my lands, so I defiled them in turn. Although I didn't want to limit my revenge, their souls await fate inside the same jars as does the soul of their arrogant leader. About the one that flourished in this world long before you came. About the one that in its greatness outshined everything ever created by mortals since the beginning of time. About the Empire, whose last remaining son, Great Vortikai, was destined to restore. We brought an era of enlightenment and prosperity to this primitive world. We created masterpieces, ones your kind cannot even fathom. I was the one who shaped this thriving empire, and the one who was going to release it from the prison of time. But then you came and shattered any hope of reviving the greatest civilization of this world.
Serves it right.
What is the blood of mortals in comparison to the greatness of the Empire that rises above it? You will never see it. You don't even realize what your sidekick stole. The Oculus of Abaddon is not some eye. It's a dark creation having tremendous power, given to me by the mercy of a horseman of the apocalypse. The Oculus is capable of seeing the unseen, revealing the future to its holder, and dominating over mere mortals. Your pathetic settlement was so close to sharing the fate of Varnhold.
Sorry there, Vortikai. Had to finish my carrot. You done? So I smashed the shoal jar. Your time is at an end, Vortikai. Bye! As you watch, cracks begin to worm through his dried body, and his bones begin to crumble. Powerful enchantments that held his life within its shell lose their battle with time, and in moments, Vortikai is dust. Even though he's standing right there. Oh, there we go. There we go. Hey, Megger. I'll be with you in just a second. Let's see. Scythe. I still don't see any scythes. Planar protection? What the heck is that? Hello? Ah, there it is. Ah, it's a conjuration thing. Okay, that makes sense. The Shroud of Abaddon. +2 fire resistance, bonus on saving throws. And then fire, cold, electricity, and acid resistance 15. Valerie. Actually, no, hang on. I'll give it to you, Jaethel. There you go. Enjoy. That's pretty good, actually. Can I wield that? I can. I'll take that. It's a +3 enhancement bonus to the weapons of monsters summoned by the wielder using Animate Dead and Create Undead spells. Yeah, I'll take that. I don't think it is not spoiling to mention that, no, there was no after-credit scene. But we're still in basically no mention status.
I'll go ahead.
So what do I think of the Baldur's Gate games? Baldur's Gate 1 was a game. I actually am not particularly fond of it, because to be completely blunt, it feels like a prototype. You know, it's the Mega Man 1 of the franchise, in my opinion. Or the Mario 1 or the Zelda 1. You get the point, right? Good premise, or good core, but basically it was just, here's an adventure, here's a random module. It didn't have a lot of strength to it. Baldur's Gate 2, now that was awesome. And I replayed the hell out of that back in the day, especially co-op with my friends. That being said, I don't think BG2 has aged that well gameplay-wise. I think the interface has issues. I think 2.5 edition, or the pseudo 2.5 edition they had going, has massive issues. And I think that the game has substantial balance, difficulty curve, and power progression curve issues. Basically, I think it is a very flawed game that happens to have an absolutely astonishingly good story. Okay, I might be overselling it a little bit, but I very much enjoyed the story. Excuse me, let me make that more clear. Stories of Baldur's Gate 2. I feel very fortunate that my audience was really good when I saw Endgame. He needs some time to come to his senses. Okay, how much time do you need, buddy?
Let's head out.
Like, you done? Oh, that's a lot of soul jars. How do we free these? Yeah, Baldur's Gate 2 had tons of stuff in it, too. You could sell the soul jars. Oh my god, it does! It's right there. Hang on, okay. After learning the horrible fate that befell the poor citizens of Varnhold, we headed to the final destination of our trip, a dark chamber, hidden beneath Mordecai's throne room. As soon as we crossed the threshold, we froze, breathless. The dark hall before us was filled with gleaming, transparent vessels. The shimmering light of the souls imprisoned there dispersed the gloomy darkness of the tomb. Liquid shadows danced and twisted on the stone walls with every one of those bright sparks as they beat against the interiors of their elegant, translucent prisons. So what did the Baron do when he saw the cruel fate of Varnhold citizens? He ordered the soul jars moved to the city where the rare merchandise could be sold in secret. Upon breaking the first jar, a bright flash of light heralded the imprisoned soul had regained its freedom. The bright spark flew in an arc over the head and then even my talent as a writer couldn't do justice to what we saw. The freed soul was resurrected. In a heartbeat, on the spot where the spark landed, a man clad in dusty peasant's clothes appears, an expression of utter shock on his face. The man was terrified when he came to his senses after that nightmare, only to find himself in the middle of an ancient tomb. Okay, I'm all for happy endings, but how is that even possible? Like, I don't know Pathfinder that well, but last I checked, you put something in a soul jar and then you break it out. It releases the soul. It doesn't true resurrect them. Because remember, true resurrection basically doesn't need a body. It just, they're back, right? Which is a fairly high-level spell, and for a frickin' reason. It took no effort at all to free the others. With each new crash of shattered glass, new people appeared around us. Guards, fishermen, mothers, children, farmers, drunkards, grumpy grannies, groaning gossipers. Long story short, all the people who had been abducted by the Oculus of Abaddon had returned. Oh, if only shattering kitchenware always brought such joy and goodness. Alternating between lamenting, crying, and yelling for joy, the crowd headed for the tomb's exit. We followed them, finishing yet another chapter of our heroic chronicle.
Is clear.
You saved me, you saved me, you saved me. Too bad Cephal didn't live to see this moment. Oh my god. Barony effects, community +9, loyalty +13, military +5, economy +7, relations +7, divine +3, arcane +1, stability +4, culture +1. The cowards from the north didn't lift a finger to help me when I was in need, so I offer my sword to those who will. A deputy will rule in Varnhold. I'll appoint someone trustworthy. Don't worry about that. And he has now joined us. Yeah, that's kind of awesome. Oh, jeez. Did I get everything? I probably did. Okay, we're fine. Sure, whatever.
The ancient evil was defeated. The dead tyrant Vorticai wouldn't be threatening us or anyone else any longer. Alas, our friend revealed himself to be an enemy. How could you, Tristan? We trusted you.
Yeah, I'll have to kill him next time I see him. Sigh. I hate killing former party members. My tavern? Blackball? Because I was actually wondering about that in the back of my mind. Oh my god. This is going to take us a while, isn't it? No. Oh yeah, we should turn the cheats back on. We could also turn on roll with advantage. So we always roll 20s and we always roll advantage. That seems pointless, doesn't it, now that I think about it? Ah! Nope. Please tell me I can cut over the mountains. I probably can't. Oh my god, go away! You know what, while we're here. Problem dealt with. Town developed. Woo! Opportunity, don't care. Problem. Problem. Let's do that. Research another curse. Oh my god. I really hope I get to that point where I have plenty of BP at some point, because holy crap. We're not there yet, that's for certain. Oh well. Oh god. Yeah, that would probably piss me off more than a little bit, Zorian. There really isn't. Oh well, I tried. I was hoping there was a way to cross. Oh, there it is! We can cross! We can cross! We can even claim something while we're here. Claim. Oh, thank goodness. If only I had a teleporter in Platyville. Oh, hang on. Stop. Let's go ahead and just head back now. See, now that we're out of the mountains, we should start making decent time. Stop. Go here. Okay. Claim. Yeah, we should probably claim this too. I know what you're thinking. Lore, how are you claiming these? It's okay, guys. I have a flag. Filling in the gaps a little bit in the terrain. Alright, that's enough. Back to town. For realsies. Tavern.
I'm hungry. When we stop?
Is that him? Apparently I didn't find his brother. Even though I kind of thought I did. Well, whatever. Oh, whoop, wrong
Tread
thing.
lightly.
But yeah, G-Gamer. Have you ever watched my rumination on The Hobbit? It's relevant, I swear.
Tired.
Got it. Well, let me summarize. The Hobbit was a film that had, like, I want to say a 13-month development cycle. It was pretty small. And that was to make all 3 films, too, which was originally supposed to be 2. However, you might be like, well, wait, wasn't The Hobbit in production for, like, 6 years? Exactly. It's the same type of situation. This is an unfortunately semi-common thing where development is in production, but it's all vague or stuff that gets thrown away or just generic development. You know, developing a combat engine, developing a way to calculate damage, developing a way to showcase lighting, and etc. In other words, no actual real development on an actual product. Usually it happens because there's either rights issues or because they haven't actually gotten the green flag yet or because they haven't actually decided what the game should be yet. And there are several reasons for this to happen, but that's basically, in a very truncated nutshell, what happened with Anthem. Was they were just kind of doing generic work, and then, oh, okay, here's the game we're going to make, and then they had this happen, if that makes any sense. No, I have not, Aleph, unfortunately. Nowadays, I usually don't have a lot of time to watch other people's YouTube stuff, ironically. A profane bonus to intellect. What the hell is a profane bonus to intellect? Yes, they did, G-Gamer, which amused the hell out of me. Because it was obviously a very well-researched and actually well-done document that was more than simple speculation. But I had actually said basically everything in that thing before it came out because I had already been reporting on the Anthem and Andromeda situation beforehand, and I was just like, oh, okay. I guess I was right. That's what that kind of boiled down to. It did amuse me, though, for like the next 2 weeks. People were like, did you see the Kotaku article? Did you see the Kotaku article, Laura? Oh my god, I had no idea. Why not? Anyways, sorry. BP, I need BP. Lots of BP. Not that much BP. Not that much either. Holy crap. Whip. That's enough BP. We'll do that much. Okay. So out of curiosity, what happens if I don't have Tristan in the party when I do that? Is the forum up? No. the forum is long since shut down. The forum was kind of a failed experiment, more like the third failed experiment.
Testing would be nice, don't you
In
think?
trying to encourage, viewers to talk with each other. Discord has completely supplanted the forum at this point. Hang on a second. I like that Tristan's just like, hey, I'm here! What's going on, man? Tristan, what are you doing here? Well... Well, let's try the Shallow Gulch and see what happens. Wait, actually, wait. Can I... I can't, can I? No, of course not. Can I do this? Ooh. Out of curiosity, am I going to see him again in this module, basically? Like, given how interconnected the modules were, it wouldn't surprise me if the answer was no. If he was just like, nope, I'm out, peace! See you again in The Adventure of Tristan. And why Diablo is an awesome game. Just realized I could check by doing this. Wait a second. Whatever. I thought I completed a thing to upgrade to a town earlier, but I don't appear to have a town right now, which is strange. Oh. I can make orphanages now. Apparently my barony is now good. Who knew? Platyville now has the orphanage. I hope you like making a lot of baked goods, Platty. For growing children.
I feel tired.
So I'm going to assume you mean Shallow Gulch and see how this works out. Well, that's why that was the last town that didn't have 6 filled squares. Now they all do. That was one of the things I did before we went out to deal with the Valley of Death.
Need to catch my breath.
You're fine.
We should gather our strength.
What? Oh yeah, I should probably deal with these problems. Oh, those are... Never mind, we're good. You received a missive. What does it say? Well, there's a guy here. Tell him to go away. What? We can make chocolate ice... Oh, we can't make chocolate ice cream. We don't have milk. No! I'm sorry, guys. No ice cream today. Or will there be ice cream today? Hi. God. There's crows. But we stealth over. It's goblins. I knew it. We demand an explanation. They grew defensive. It's not us. We killed no one. He already deaded. Horse threw him. Nasty thing. Broke his neck. Horse killed him. We not even tried eating him. Well, yeah, that sucks. Death by being thrown by a horse is not among the most dignified of deaths. Although, if I read that correctly, and I think I did, it sounds like a certain flock of crows spooked the horse, which caused him to fall and break his neck, so... I mean, there's an inordinate amount of text in this game, G-Gamer. But I wish it was fully voice acted, too. I'm pretty big on full voice acting nowadays in my life. Especially as a streamer. I don't mind if there's no voice acting if I'm just playing normally, because I read extremely quickly. Did I not claim that yet? Here, go claim that.
I need to catch my breath.
No breath catching. Are you saying I take your breath away? I'm sorry, I'll let myself out for that one. So I'm going to do a little OCD thing here real quick. I'm just filling out the paths here because I haven't, and I want them to be filled out. That's all I'm doing here. So just give me a second here. It'd be kind of neat if there was an option to turn some of these into roads, with all of the benefits that those roads have. I don't know, I just think that would be kind of a cool thing, but... Anyways. Because we see this movement speed benefit that roads have, like these roads... Okay, they're not on the map, but like there's roads up there, and they're super fast compared to everything else. And of course, I have a feeling they have less encounter things, too. But anyways. Okay. To the tavern. Hey, I just went all the way back over there to find your dead bro. He's dead, bro. It's okay, he died horribly and for no good reason. Isn't that great? Interesting.
Let us be careful.
I mean, given how this barony works, it's not too surprising to me that we need to be personally involved with a lot of it. Alright, let's see what nightmares have happened in my absence. I was off dealing with a resurrected Cyclops Lich, who was actually trying to raise an undead army to conquer the land, not being aware of the fact that that's my job. So. What? What? Brevoy is under attack from Rostlin. You've got to be kidding me. So in case you missed that, not only is our allies to the north, the Brevi, who are also helping to fund some of our bills, by the way, currently under attack by the Tiger Lords, you know, those barbarians, at the same time, someone opened up a frickin' portal at Candlemere Lake, and now monsters are pouring out of it. So my ally is being attacked over there on the front, and my rear is undefended from behind. Oh my god. You mean right now, Aleph? Okay. My knee-jerk thought is to send her out now, while me and mine go back and deal with Candlemere. It's closer, and we have a better chance of dealing with it quickly, in other words, resolving that before we can get up to Brevoy. But apparently Blackfile's telling me, alright, what happens if I go after Brevoy first? Like, there's monsters pouring into my barony, and you want me to go and defend an ally who is way over there. It will literally take me longer to reach my ally than it will to go to Candlemere Keep, deal with whatever's there, and come back. But I'm guessing that's not being taken into account. Because that was part of what I was thinking. Geography. It's right there. Brevoy is way up there. Alright, whatever. That's dumb. We'll do it. Whatever. Now what? Oh, right, yeah, no. It's sorry. Bad day. Monsters, barbarians, you know how it is. She's concerned that he went off with his ex. I'm pretty sure they're not in trouble, but whatever, as they say. Interesting. So this is a leather worker who wants an artisan, I believe, who is trying to get me to fund her setup in Varnhold. She comes from Daggermark, which I don't know where that is. Okay, yeah, sure. I mean, I plan to conquer Varnhold, so... Aw, thanks. I need something specific. I need a decent robe. Okay, so he's got a follow-up quest. Of course he does, because all the artisans do.
Meanwhile, barbarian hordes had been gathering near Brevoy's borders. We had a difficult choice to make. Was it more important to chase a traitor, or to fulfill our duty as allies?
Well, considering the picture is of the barbarian attack with Amiri right there, I have a feeling I know where the game wants me to go. Just call me a crazed person here, but anyways. Hello. Hey, what's up? I found this. Nope, still don't have all of those. Found these. Give me money, give me money, give me money, give me money. Ooh, hello. Nope, I already went through that one. Good luck, G-Gamer. You're gonna need it. How are you doing, Valerie? Okay, just checking. Alright. So we're gonna get a real save in here, because... Duh, I suppose.
I feel tired.
So, we have no counselor. And I don't want Regengar to be my general. I mean, I need a general, so whatever. So that's that thing. Well, we're doing okay on BP, so... How are we doing over here? So, normally I have like a breather period in between chapters. Do I not have one here? Because it sure sounded like I need to go up top, like, now. Like, just right now, and completely drop everything. If that's true, then, well, that sucks, but at least, you know, I'll know, right? Go and get that started. No breather. Well, I kind of figured. That's okay. I mean, it sucks, actually, but we can adapt. We're going to do some long-term buff things while I'm gone, because I've been meaning to run this for a while now. I just haven't had the BP. We still can't up our city status, which really irritates me. Yeah, we're still a town. And I don't think anywhere else has upgraded to town, or has an option to. Just double checking, but I'm pretty sure I've got 6 things in every village right now. And I am correct. Yeah, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 villages. Where the hell is my town? Oh, there's my town. Okay, where's my city? Why can't I make us a city yet? Story progression. Okay, that answers me. Our capital is a town, yes. I'm not sure what to put here. Let's put that there. And we really could use some espionage, among other things. We could also use Arcane. Arcane, Divine, and Espionage are definitely our weakest points. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. Well, that sucks. Alright, whatever. There. We should probably stop blowing BP, so we're going to stop blowing BP. Alright, so no time wasting things. We're just going to go and deal with the oncoming barbarians who have been sent here because of Nerissa. Nerissa, some people send chocolates, some people send letters. You don't have to send me a barbarian horde. Let's go. Double checking a couple things here. And I suppose the side quests can just frickin' wait at this point. Actually, hang on. I mean, do you know how expensive a barbarian horde is? Make love and war. Well, isn't that what barbarians do? Yeah. Welcome back, Harim. I'm sure you are just as awesome as I left you. Unleveled. Hang on. We are apparently troubled right now. So, 3 times in a row we went from serene all the way down to troubled because we had negative BP. This event will apparently help combat that and requires 1,000 BP. Yikes. That's... wow. So, how do I upgrade the town? I thought maybe there was a button I missed, but I don't see a button I'm missing. How much gold do I have? Not that much. That would be, weird, but okay. I don't know why it did that. I've got to be fat-fingering something over there. Because that's not the first time that's happened. Like, it's the numpad asterisk button, so I have no idea. Oh, I know why. Okay, you know what? Hang on. Hang on. I have a horrible, evil, no good, very bad thought here. Give me a second. I'm basically gonna go crazy here. And just kind of stop caring. So... just checking something. Yep. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, never mind. We're okay. We're okay. Yeah, you can probably already see what we're doing here. Yeah, we're going to sell all the loot we've been hoarding in the just-in-case chest, and we're going to turn all of that into money and then into BP, and see if that's enough to do that. Whoop, whoop, wrong button. I want this button. I mean, I had to put the thank you somewhere, Lycon. Alright, so this might take a second. Set that button first. So just to make sure, I want to keep that, and that's it. So there's 86,000 gold. I mean, that's enough by itself, but let's keep going. And I've decided I don't need that. But wait, there's more. Yeah, this is why D&D economies don't actually make sense. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but I mean, that's pretty much where it's at. D&D economies just don't actually make sense. And this is why. I don't know if you can read that. Hang on. Yeah, let's get rid of all those too. Okay. Yep, so that's 223,580 gold. That's it's a couple gold. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's buy 1,000 BP, which we can afford. There we go.
Let's head out.
I have no idea how to do that, Lycon. Actually, wait. I might be able to do that. That'd be really weird. I could try that, but I'd have to mess with it. Okay, so. Events. No, not... Maybe it was Project. I think. No. I mean, that is something, but that's not it. Where's the friggin' thing? There it is. Feast. He's... Really? Really? Yeah, he's gone for 14 days. I've decided I hate everything. Did all that. God, all these researches take like 70 to a jillion days to do. There, 14 days. Go do that. Whatever. So, hang on. So let's... what town was I going to upgrade? We'll do the Countville. So... where's the button I'm looking for? I am clicking on village. I'm clicking all over the place. Nothing's happening. Okay, I'll click on the longhouse. Requires a town. I need 6 buildings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I can rename it. I can enter it. I can exit it. I can go between them. But I do not see a button to upgrade anywhere. Wait, what? Now maybe it's just not allowing me because Varnhold. Like Varnhold, that might be the problem. Hang on. You're right, it does say 5 of 20. What? I have 7 things here. Okay. Of course, that's going to take some time now. So, yeah, whatever. Cancel. I have something else for you to do. Make a feast happen. There goes 1,000 BP. That better frickin' be worth it. Yeah, I'm thinking it doesn't count green and blue. I thought it actually didn't count green, but I assumed it counted blue, because that would still have been 6. But whatever. Okay, now let's go save our allies from barbarians. I guess. Now that I've lost my main healer and my main DPS. Whatever, get another save in here. Come on, there we go. So just to be clear, we're going up here, right? Like, that's the goal. I mean, that would make sense to me, but, you know. Really? To the battlefield. Battlefield. Since that's the only thing over there, I'm going to assume it's that thing I just moused over. That thing. Hell, that's gonna suck. I really wish I had that teleporter right about now. That's gonna take even longer, because we're going through the forest.
I need to catch my breath.
Oh, for God's sakes, what? Okay. It's always wonderful.
I feel tired.
Oh, God. Divinity Original Sin 2, G-Gamer. Also, take me home. I don't want to actually sing it because copy wrong, but yeah. It's a good song. It's a shame the game was awful. I say that. I don't actually know if the game was awful. I'm sure the game wasn't awful. Or maybe it was. Who knows? Hey, Mary. What's up? Okay, so that doesn't surprise me, but apparently Armagh and his Fae are not super popular with the tigers. Wow. So, okay, I gotta read this out loud. Let's use you as an example. Perhaps you're not the most important person in the River Kingdoms, but you're certainly not an enemy to yourself or your people, right? Now put yourself in our shoes. Imagine your chieftain calls on you and orders you to take all your people and jump off a cliff, because some old crone foretold it was your destiny. What would you do? So, the lawful good choice is, if my commander orders it, I'll jump, but I won't force my people to follow. This is about personal choices. Lawful neutral. A commander's orders are not debatable. If someone I've sworn to obey gives such an order, they must have a good reason. These are my principles, and I expect the same principles from my subject. Neutral evil. I'd send my men in first while I try to figure out the situation. Maybe it wouldn't be necessary for me to jump as well. What the hell? Yeah, no. Huh. So they're not actually here on behalf of Sertovus. That's interesting. Even a mindless baby would be a better chieftain than this madman who obeys Harpy's every word and destroys his own tribe. Okay, this is gonna suck. I can tell why you say this is gonna be save scummy. Holy crap. So, save. God. Come on, there we go.
I need a challenge.
Yep. I love the dialogue. I came from far, far north. I'm from... who's up there? Ice Chasm. My name is Imari. I'm Imari from Ice Chasm following. Diplomacy +0. Intimidate +0. Well, yep, okay, so... yeah, that's, a thing that just happened. Are you gonna let me reload, game? Please let me reload? What the crap, game? Hey! Yeah, I kind of figured that, Blackthorn. I love how she has to pass intimidate or diplomacy checks, which she has nothing of. Just nothing. Yep. No, god damn it! So in case you missed what happened there, I saw that was coming, so I clicked over here for her to go away. So what she did is she did this. She did this to get around. In other words, she went closer to the thing I was trying to avoid. Oh my god. Okay. Hey. Apparently Dagoth is being heard as a traitor. He killed 4 sisters and tried talking us into rioting. Wow. With a huge battle just around a corner, he starts plotting and scheming behind his chieftain's back. If he were a decent man, he would have waited till we won, then challenged the chieftain to an honest fight. The man's scum, I say. You're gonna lose this battle, dude. I hate to break this to you. The only reason I care about doing all this stuff is to try and prevent you from all dying. Okay. Right. Well, let's go ahead and hit save here again. Now that we're past that dialogue option. We made it, guys. We made it 5 feet. What? What? I did... Didn't even see what caught me that time. I mean, it was obviously her. It's just... Okay.
What's that?
That would be you finally succeeding at a perception check, my dear. Not like I haven't been raising your perception.
I need a challenge. Let's go.
Oh, come on! Inch, 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 inch. Okay, well, she's obviously not here, so I'll just get by her. I see you! The one time I don't inch along. The one time. This is the GM saying, okay, check the next square. Alright, check the next square. Alright, check the next square. Alright, check the next square.
I need a challenge.
Which I've actually had GMs do that to me, by the way. Oh, we're still back here. Right. Let's go up here. Hey, look, this is all nice and easy. We can just run through here. Alright, where is that stupid Vadem Feshkayast? I don't even see her. Did she start patrolling farther just to piss me off? Guess we'll do this for a second.
An ambush, eh?
God, of course she's patrolling at the sound of slug. Or at the speed of slug, excuse me. Look at her. You've got to be kidding me. Oh, kill me. Okay. The best part is I think I'm memory leaking like crazy. I might actually restart the game after this because each of these loads is taking a little bit longer. Out of curiosity, do I have any cheats that can deal with this? Let's see here. Get rid of that. Okay, I just want to see what this button does. Nothing, okay. Well, that's good, because I was just curious. Okay, oh, it's probably only stuff you're in combat with. That makes sense. It's a good idea. Do I have access to my inventory? Because I did hold on to those potions of vanish. I did, see? I still have an alchemist's fire. That's actually funny. Okay. Now that we're invisible... Go! Oh, come on! How are you supposed to do this legit? I'm just curious. I mean, I'm basically... This is probably the first time my move speed is actually cheating. And then she's going to be like... And then she's going to turn around almost immediately. And make one more attempt at just rushing this. Okay. We're being a little more cautious than usual now because WTF. Oh, I see that problem right there. And she's just standing there. Is she gonna go anywhere?
Let's go.
No, she's just standing there. Yeah, I think we can officially save now. I was waiting until I saw if I screwed everything up first. God, yeah, the game is just chugging now. Run. Or don't? Oh. We'll go with athletics. Crazy bears. Yeah, bluff. DC 32. Okay, so she just walked away. Let's see. Do I want to go with my skill that's a +0, my skill that's a +0, or my skill that's a +0? Ironically, the way I convinced her was by being honest. Neelok of the Six Bears is in there. She's like a sister to me. Armagh ordered her captured. Fine, but I'm not leaving her alone with those witches. They'll kill her without a trial, you hear me? Please let me pass. Barbarian's response. But Armagh... Ah, damn it, you're right. The sisters give me creeps, too. And that girl was yelling the same thing when they tied her up. Ah, fine, go protect your sister. But watch out. Armagh will return soon. If he captures you, don't complain to me. Hey, wolves. Scritch, 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 scritch. Scritch, 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 scritch.
What's that?
Nope, 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 nope. Who's a good wolf? Whoa! Why? I thought we were good wolves. Whatever. They were not good wolves. They were bad wolves. At least now I'm covered in ichor and blood. You know, for strategic sheep purposes. Her head is empty, but for a single ringing thought. Kill. 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 Yeah, that'd do it. Exactly, Aleph. Oh, here we go. Well, I hope that counts as success. I noticed there were no options whatsoever there.
Smells like blood. Yes, blood. Who dare shed blood here without first calling Armagh?
Your witch wanted to kill Nilok like cattle without even charge or trial, and I'm gonna make you answer for that.
The 6 bears crawled to Armagh on their bellies, begging for his protection. And this is how they repay the Tiger Lord's hospitality? The girl killed the sister. Armagh demands payment in blood.
You got it, so I can chop off your head and just get a whole bunch, or we can, like, cut you all over the place and just kind of saturate it. Which would you prefer?
So be it. Armagh and the girl will fight before the eyes of Gorum, like in ancient times. One-on-one. Everyone, gather now. Draw the circle so we may fight. Blood for blood.
Okay. Excuse me. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, I just thought for a moment you thought you were actually a threat. Enough of this foolishness, says the sister.
Who dares defy the sanctity of the duel? Shame! Armagh will find. Armagh will kill. Tie the girl. She'll be executed after the battle, so everyone can see what happens to those who stand in Armagh's way. Now, continue the battle. Armagh must leave. No one dares object. It's important. The most important thing in the world.
I slowly turned to my GM. That was bullcrap. So, do we just like lunge to the battle and then kill everything right now? Like I don't actually fully understand what the game wants from me after that display of railroading. I mean, I know what the plan was, but the plan just got thrown out the window.
I knew I could count on you. The battle's about to begin, and I won't lie. Without your reinforcements, this battle would be hard on us.
Although I should admit that technically, in character, I don't actually know things have gone south, so...
I'm glad to see you again. Now we'll win without a doubt.
So, there's a chance to cut our losses.
You tell a strange tale. Who are these sisters? Why did the Tiger Lords attack us in the first place? This sounds less like a conditional war than a bloody hecatomb. It's like the true reason behind this battle is to sacrifice as many people as possible, on both sides, in the name of some grim deity.
That's a hell of a logic leap there, lady, but I would agree with you.
I'm glad you're an adventurer first and a ruler second in this instance. Perhaps, with the information you've obtained, we'll be able to avoid a slaughter.
So how do you suggest we proceed?
Cautiously. I'll draw my forces to yours and begin a slow advance against the enemy. If your contacts spoke true, they should retreat.
Also, is that an insult?
As for you, your best option is to return to their main camp. If all went as planned, you'll find Armagh's body there. If not, then bring that adventurer's instinct to the fore and improvise.
I mean, aren't the demons into that? I admittedly don't know. Excuse me, daemons. Alright, let's do it.
Abadar guide you.
Why does this
Do
keep...
your best. I'd really like to see you again. In this world, I mean.
Oh yeah, don't worry. I mean, I'm gonna become a lich. It'll be fine. It'll be cool. So, let's go kill a lot of barbarians. Just like all the barbarians, really. Just, yeah, let's go this way. Or just... We should probably kill our way through, honestly.
My skills exceed yours.
But yeah, I feel like I was insulted by me being a ruler second. Like, oh, you're a crap ruler. Okay, break into the barbarian camp. You got it. Let's go.
Prevail.
I actually wonder how bad it would be if we just kind of wiped out the barbarians here. Like, is this a Mandalorian situation? Are these people who need to be broken in order to save the rest of the world? I don't fully understand the situation.
Who will prevail? Does it matter?
Strike, we're the legend.
Fair, Lycon. And we've probably been keeping her abridged, abrised of all of that.
Epic pose. I need inspiration. I'm reading you out of our story.
I'm keeping her abreast of the abridged situation.
You cannot stand against me.
Hey, the barbarians are employing hill giants. Sorry, I'm thinking. I know, right, Bragwin? Oh my god. Nothing. No. Kill them. Kill them. Whatever it is. Damn. I was hoping for a way to just kind of skip by, but it looks like we do have to carve a path. Whatever. You know how it is. Death, death, death. Blah, 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 blah. Enjoy dying horribly.
Submit.
I'm writing you out of our story. Strike worth the legend.
Okay.
Training pays off.
Okay.
I'll go ahead.
Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me. Don't aggro me. Don't aggro me. I'm going too quickly for you to aggro me. Super fast. Squirt! Greetings, Gwart. Amiri, are you alright? Amarg was real strong, the dirty piece of crap. But I survived, so hail Gorum, I guess. I actually kind of liked Dugoth, so I'm glad to see him again. He abandoned battle in the middle of... Wow. He actually routed. Wow. So this is Jaethal. A valuable lesson for the Baron. If you're a hero for even an hour, whatever you do later, you'll always have companions. People will find it easier to accuse the whole world of lying rather than admit they were wrong about you. That is a strangely touching and horrifying sentiment. So he went to a tomb because he thinks he's actually the ancient Armagh. Okay. Neelock, what's going on with you? Okay, well. Aw, poor Neelock. She's kind of awesome. Kind of awesome. Okay, she's super awesome. What do you want from me? Oh, I can do that now? Do I have time to go deal with Candlemere now? Sorry. Just irritable.
The path is clear.
I mean, Candlemere was right there. Alright, whatever. I will admit that it sounds like Candlemere is actually about going after What's-His-Face and not stopping the evil monsters of Doom that are a problem. So, because that was what I was thinking of, was the evil monsters of Doom. Hmm. Yeah, I know, Aleph. It felt like it. It really did.
To arms!
My strength exceeds yours. You are outmatched.
You think that hurt?
Frail your flesh is.
No contest.
I'm writing you out of our story.
Where the hell's the exit? Exit. Exit.
Tread lightly.
Hey Siri, where's the exit?
I see something.
Okay, let's try over here. Sure, we haven't been up here. And thus the Baron was trapped, forever lost, within the place where he could never leave.
And then our leader charged forward.
God damn it.
Wait for me. Strike worth the weapon. Inspect I see.
I didn't want to bug Alexa, that's why I didn't say Alexa, Flatty. Just for you. Nope, yeah, that's the right spot. This is where I started. Am I just completely blind?
The path is clear.
Maybe there's a way up here I just haven't found. Nope, still can't get up there. He's even over there. Hey, dude! I can't figure out how to get up there. There's got to be like an athletics check thing or something somewhere along here. God dang. And I thought it was bad around here, Bragwin. I'm telling you, real estate is getting ridiculous. Like, it's always been an issue, economically speaking, but it feels like it's getting to be a worse of an issue in the last 20 years, 30 years. I once had a 2-story apartment, which was 2-bedroom, big living room, 2-bathroom. Nice, big, nice place. Good neighborhood, $800 a month. I will literally be spending that much at the place I am moving to, which is not that big or nice. And 1 bedroom. And what story?
I found something interesting.
Yeah. Where the hell is Brevoy Command? Oh, it's right freaking there. Oh my god! During my break, I did, yes, Venters. I shall, of course, not be commenting on it, other than to say that I've been to space!
The barbarians have retreated. Congratulations, my friend. You've managed the best kind of victory. A bloodless one.
A brilliant victory, Baron. I've no doubt that the noble house you will found will in time gain great glory, and bards will sing its praises in every tavern.
I was gonna say bloodless?
I haven't the slightest doubt of that. I wonder what it cost the Aldori to receive such services.
I can't believe you hear coins jingling behind every interaction, like some pathetic shopkeeper. Have you been a ruler for so long that you only see others as servants? Maybe try reading through your family's chronicles sometime. The concept of honor once meant something to your ancestors. The deeds of the Baron in his lands are already worthy of legend. He has proven he has the virtues necessary to be not just a Baron, but to be a true king.
Things just keep becoming more interesting with you. So, near Restov's border, where once only impenetrable woods, monster lairs, and bandit dens were found, a real kingdom is emerging? I confess you have surprised me. Well, I won't object. It will be entertaining to see how that turns out.
I haven't the slightest doubt that this man will become one of the best kings the River Kingdoms have ever known.
Here's some interesting options. I can remain neutral, bow to both ladies, and say Brevoy is experiencing hard times right now. Internal feuds threaten to bring real disaster. My kingdom and I are ready to act as a guarantor of peace. We could shake Jamandi's hand, that's that lady right there. Being your ally is a great honor. Trust me when I say I won't forget all you've done for me. I can bow before the other woman, the sniveling woman. I would be honored to take the crown from your hands. Allow me to pledge my eternal loyalty. Or I can say, you think to honor me by proposing I take the crown from your hands. I don't require your recognition or anyone else's to be crowned. Which is actually a lie, but whatever. I think we'll butter up our current ally, the one we rushed out here to save.
The feeling is mutual.
And now, let me bid you farewell. I was truly happy to meet you face to face once more. With all my heart, I wish your young kingdom great prosperity. And I hope your newly established noble family will have a long and glorious history.
But I have no children. I don't even have a loved one.
Well, Your Highness, it's time to get ready for the coronation. You'll probably want to restore order within your lands first. As I'm sure you'll agree, it would certainly be odd to hold a celebration with monsters roaming the land and a crazed barbarian chieftain still at large. Once these issues are resolved, I'll be happy to see the region once known as the Stolen Lands become a full-fledged country, led by a truly noble sovereign. Till we meet again at your coronation.
Because that's how you become a king. You become recognized by other kings. Okay, now can I leave? Please? please. Yeah, she was... If I was to guess, Bragwin, I would say that that wasn't her playing at politics. I would say that there's another layer going on. Like, if I didn't know any better, I would say that that was someone who was Fae, who was involved in the other game that's been going on in the region, who was wishing us well because she's got something against Nerissa. Like, that's what that sounded like to me. I don't know if that's true or not, it's just... Yeah. She might not actually be Fae, she might just be involved in that other game, but anyways. And that's true, as Gold Flavius and Ventures both say. The other way you could become a king is by being stronger than the others. Genghis Khan, excuse me. Okay. So we need to deal with Armagh, and we need to deal with Tristran. Let's go deal with Tristran first, shall we? And we also have several character quests to do. But I don't think we're actually in a hurry this time, for once. I think the immediate crisis has been dealt with. I hope. Fingers crossed. But on the off chance the immediate crisis is not dealt with, let's go to frickin' Candlemere Keep now. And get that out of the way. Hang on, what's going on here? Lindsay... Ah, okay. No big deal there. The feast is still going. Hopefully that'll push us up from troubled, because that's really starting to bother me. Shut up, stomach. Shut up, hydration bot.
I need to catch my breath.
See, this is why I need to just be a robot. Or an android.
I feel tired.
We should gather our strength.
Hang on, let's camp in the middle of the lake. Because it amuses me. We're just out on the canoe, and we're like, all right, let's put up camp here. Putting up the tents. There we go. Get a fire going. I haven't succeeded my cooking check. But yeah, that was kind of the plan anyways, but thank you, Blackwell. The goal here is just race between these crisis points. And once they're done, then I'll go do some character stuff. Some party member stuff. So... Well, that was fast.
I'm good.
No contest.
I'm ready to hear the story. Strike for the legend.
My skills exceed
Victory
yours.
is inevitable.
Ouch, Aleph. I'll have to keep that in mind then. Although right now, even having 500 BP is kind of a big deal. As I've mentioned several times, I've been at a BP deficit for most of the game now. Several people have told me that eventually that'll turn around, but I haven't seen it yet. And I've been cranking my economy score, too.
Let's head out.
So... Oh no, he's dead. I'm sorry, dude. I actually was the one who convinced him. The only way for me to check PMs on Twitch is to go nice and manually. So, I try to check those every now and again, but nothing notifies me of those, so I have to go check those manually, which I'm doing right now. Sure. Yeah, no problem. Okay, so...
To victory!
No contest.
What? Oh, okay. I get it. That makes sense.
To the dust you will go.
Well, perhaps coincidentally, that'll leave him in the direction I want to go in anyways. Is this infinite? Never mind. So, once again, it'd be nice to have teleports. Why do games always give you fast travel way too late? I shouldn't say that, that's actually not true. Some games give you fast travel way too late for it to actually be useful. It always kind of irritates me a little bit. Like, okay, now you don't have to run around, now that you're done with the game. Those mean those are hypotheticals, Daron. They are what I usually refer to as italics over in the document. In other words, stuff that hasn't been codified yet. So, Temple of the Elk. Real quick, let's just double check something here. Right, I can't yet, because... Actually, that's an interesting question. Let's check something real quick. Let's check something. So Varnhold's a town, right? Now, I'm not a city yet, but... Ah, that's what I thought. Looks like I can't teleport around until I'm a city. Okay. So based on that, actually, I'm going to redo my route just a little bit, because this won't actually take that long. So first, I'm going to be startled a little bit. Thank you very, very much, Command & Conquer 2. As always, and as ever, much appreciate your support, and the fact that I'm going to be able to continue to eat and breathe and have a nice roof over my head as a consequence. Thank you. Would you like to continue putting that towards Judgment, or is there something else that's caught your interest? Because I don't even know when Judgment comes out. Like, do we have a release date over here for that yet? Keep it up, and in a couple of years you might even become Emperor. I suppose that's true, Aleph. Alright, I'll give you that. I will actually give you that. Fair enough. Well, I said thank you several times, Command & Conquer, and then I asked what you wanted to put that towards, and then I asked if we have a release date for Judgment yet. So I'm guessing that it is just a place I could go find manually, but June, not too bad. But yeah, let's go ahead and do the project here for finding the tomb. You've got to be kidding me. Alright, what are you guys on right now? 9 days, 9 days, 10 days. Well, I'm sorry, but this is a priority. So, get on it. That costs 250 BP. I do not make that much BP right now. Whatever. It's in progress while we go find Tristran. You know, time management. Try to get many things going as once here. Let's go and do this really quick while we're at it. Although I guess that's kind of a waste, but whatever. That was a waste. I shouldn't have done that. Whatever. Let's go. Yeah, get out of my party. Actually, I was going to refer to several games which use what I call the freedom point, which is when you can just go around and do whatever. Most often in, say, the Final Fantasy series, for example, the freedom point is when you have access to the airship. The feast was a success. People forgot all about their troubles. Yay! We went from troubled up to worried. Oh my god. Yeah, go deal with that. Would you, please? And while we're at it, go deal with that, please. Thank you. Actually, funnily enough, there are several cheats in this mod I've been using that allow you to basically freeze time or change the passage of time.
Need to catch my breath.
I've more or less deliberately not been doing that because, again, I don't want to cheat too much. I do want to experience as much of the game as really as I can. So, no cheating on Kingdom, no cheating on resources, no cheating on time. Just combat. Just move combat out of the way, and I'm happy.
You should be.
Oh my god, the pilgrims are under attack by owlbears! And Braguins! Now that's dangerous. Those things are CR22.
Unworthy. We will prevail.
No contest.
For every Braguin within 20 feet of another Braguin, all of their stats and rolls are increased by a multiple of 2. So 2, 4, 8, 16, 32. Eastern Shadow Machine? Just to clarify. Okay, sure. I'll jot something down here to help remind myself. There we go. Okay. Oh, good. We're in the first world.
I did as you asked.
Why wouldn't we be in the first world? This is not the first world. What in the world?
Enemy near.
Horde of Braguins approach. 144. Oh my god.
I need to.
You see that?
What for Gorum? I'm writing you out of our story.
Yeah.
Whatever. Whatever. At this point.
What a surprise.
Why is there a fortress in the first world?
Done and done.
How curious.
Oh, it's one of these puzzles. Okay. It's actually worse than I thought it was. Much worse. Yeah. Well, it's all but one. Ugh. Yeah, I don't like these type of puzzles. I never have. I'm not good at them. That's probably why. You know, I've said before, I am not exactly a smart person. Well, first, you grin and bear it, Disco. That's the only advice I can give you. I guess we'll go with click randomly. I wish this is the only the other thing I don't like about puzzles like these, especially in older RPGs, which this game doesn't get a pass on, but you know what I mean. In older RPGs, it takes forever for each thing to resolve. Like here, watch this. You know what I mean? Walk over, interact, done. Walk over, interact, done. And it just makes the whole thing just a little bit worse. This is basically the padding problem, the trash problem, in a shrunk format. Now, it's not the same thing, and I'm not giving a negative for it, but you get the idea. If you add there be just a little bit of extra padding in between every single action, all of a sudden, the game becomes just much more unbearable. Because and you start to notice it more and more the further you get into it. Oh, for God's sakes. No! Okay, I'm not even sure I know the patterns anymore. That didn't actually act the way I thought it should. So now I'm not even sure what's happening at this point. Kill me. Well, the reason they exist, Aaron... Oh yeah, you want to be overpowered? If you know the magic system, play a mage. There you go. Oh, the light... I'm sorry, I thought I was trying to light the lights, not put them out. If you are not interested, if you don't know the magic system of D&D, play a monk. If you're not sure if you want to play a monk, play a fighter. There's your advice. So... why do the bracket and negatives exist? Because I always do that. Like, I've been doing that for forever. It's something that I'm thinking might be a negative or a positive, or something that might eventually build up to a full, positive or negative. But I'm not sure yet, I can't actually decide that early on if something's going to be a full positive or negative, especially in a longer game. But I want to make a note of it so I can remember it later, and... I want my viewers to be able to see that, because plenty of times, for example, I would have in the document, I'd say such and such or such and such, and then I didn't have anything on the UI here, the HUD. And so people would show up and be like, oh my god, no positives at all, that's horrible. And I'm like, no, it's got like 4 potential positives. So I finally just started showing the potential positive like this. Make sense? Wizard Fighter? This is 2nd edition. Baldur's Gate is 2nd edition, so while that is technically a thing you can do, I cannot stress enough how much you should not do that. This is gonna happen. This is happening. We're gonna make it happen, by God. Or maybe not. I give up. Yeah, I give up. There's no pattern I can discern. At all. Like, seriously, I thought I had a pattern, and I completely don't. I know what you're thinking. Laura, why are you still here doing this? Well, my food's showing up in 3 minutes, so I figure I might as well interrupt that with, this with that, rather than something actually meaningful. Although I suppose I could go get in combat and then walk away. Like, if it was adjacent, that would make sense. But nope, that's totally not adjacent. It's not opposite either. I got the best food ever. Ice cream. I'm not actually making that up. Monks are in Baldur's Gate 2. I have no idea if they're in 1. I really don't remember. Look, I really want ice cream. Do you understand? You don't understand. I need ice cream. I need it.
Oh, look! I see some. Let's give them what they deserve.
Let's go get in combat.
Strike worth a legend.
My training pays off.
God damn it. Hi, Gary. I'd ask if you want to put that towards something, but I know you don't care.
You are outmatched.
Infinite ice cream. You have no idea of the power of the ice cream. The power.
I did as you asked.
How curious.
I see something.
Oh my god, why are there traps everywhere?
I did as you asked.
Now I remember playing a monk back in Baldur's Gate 2. Not the Enhanced Edition, because I've never really played the Enhanced Edition. But I will admit it's entirely possible as playing with a mod, because I used to play with mods all the time, like as standard policy. In fact, I don't even remember if the co-op multiplayer was built into Baldur's Gate 2 or not. I don't remember.
I did as you asked.
But I played Baldur's Gate 2 with friends. More than a few times.
I'll go ahead.
Okay. So none of that was modding. I never know.
This is for you. Worth a legend. I need to catch my breath. I see something.
Yeah, I'm not going in there.
Look at that.
We've downed better ones.
Ah,
Gotcha, Disco. That would make sense. Why would monks be human only? God, 2nd edition was weird.
I see something. Done and done.
Then again, 1st edition was weirder. You remember when Elf was a class and it sucked?
You are outmatched.
Never got a chance.
That's
I did as you asked.
fair enough, Aleph.
I found something interesting.
Yeah, Elf was basically a worse fighter that was also a worse mage. It really was kind of crap.
Would you look at that?
I forget which class it was, but one of the caster classes literally started with no spells. None. It was just...
Done and done.
Go level if you want to cast magic, was how that worked out. The one I serve has put a spell on me. If I try to play against her, I will die. There are some questions answering which will kill me faster than I finish talking. Okay. Who are you? We really are sisters, the nymphs from the first world, bounded by blood with the one who turned our ties of blood into shackles. We truly are defaced. When she shared her curse with us, she deprived us of our freedom, praise, and beauty. What'd she do to Tristran? He's like us, our stepbrother in misery. You must already know he's not a regular man. He's a child of the higher planes, Serenray's diva, who fell into my sister's trap and was forced to serve her. His task was to aid in your ascension and your fall, but his will was strong enough to fight her commands. I beg you forgive his betrayal. There's no hope for me, but everything is not lost for him, not yet. Well, I'm gonna stab him. Century after... I mean, we already knew this, but century after century, she does the same thing. First, she finds within her land something she calls an empire. It may be a village led by a strong chieftain, or outlaws that terrorize the roads, or even caves of trolls and kobolds. Any center of authority in these lawless lands. She helps this new empire flourish, only so she might destroy it. Lies, violence, magic, blades of her new favorites. This is her arsenal she uses to destroy dreams, hope, and the very lives of those she formerly nurtured and protected. Yeah, I already know all about that. And that. Wow, she's pulling out the big guns. She actually brought an enchanted stone with imprisonment on it. Wow. She has officially decided to stop screwing around. Yes, Lycon. And without the ranged feats to help balance it out. So... I know this is horrible, but the chaotic good option makes a degree of sense to me. Hear me out. I have a better idea. Use imprisonment on yourself. It's a faint hope, but a hope nevertheless. A day shall come when her curse dissolves, and then you shall be free. Remember, we're a sorcerer, so the spell Freedom is something we could learn. Oh, by the way, if you're ever going to play Baldur's Gate 2, learn the spell Freedom. Trust me. Hang on. My ice cream's melting. Give me just a second. See, freedom's a useful spell anyways. Because it's freedom from basically all sorts of things. But freedom also cancels out imprisonment. And there are things that have imprisonment in Baldur's Gate 2. So, yeah, she used imprisonment on herself. Now we have to remember where this is. Like, in character, my character would be like, just scribbling down a note. Okay, I need to remember. Come back here, when this is all done, if I manage to succeed at this, to, you know, cast freedom here. And,
the path is clear.
Yeah.
Anything else?
What a surprise.
I did as you asked. Applause, please.
Actually, just to get it across here, let me pause for just a second. The subject is freed from spells and effects that restrict its movement, including but not limited to binding, entanglement, grappling, imprisonment, maze, paralysis, petrification, pinning, sleep, slow, stunning, temporal stasis, and web. However, to free a creature from imprisonment or maze, you must know its name and its background and must cast this spell at the spot, relatively speaking, where it was entombed or banished into the maze or imprisonment. That's why I need to remember where, so I can come back here and cast freedom.
Be careful, everyone.
Fleet.
No contest.
Victory is inevitable.
I need to catch my breath.
I know her identity. I'm pretty sure that's enough. And if my GM says no, then I'll just punch the GM until he says that's enough. It's amazing how successful that is. You ever have a GM who's not being complacent? Just punch them until they let you do stuff. That's horrible.
What for Gorum?
You never had a chance.
I need to catch my breath.
What's that? How curious.
Done and done. Would you look at that? I did as you asked. Hey, can someone help me?
Well, thankfully, freedom doesn't require a roll of any kind. It just happens. I tend to like spells that don't require any kind of roll of any kind. Hello. Please be voice acted.
You. You robbed my sister of hope. You prolonged her suffering and our suffering as well. For that, you'll die. The wounded Skylark hurried to his mistress to tell about his failure in person. This sanctimonious fool proved incapable of carrying out a simple order because of you. Now our mistress wants to search for what the Oculus was meant to show her, and I remained behind to rid my lady of those who have outlasted their usefulness. An emissary from the First World, a servant to the power that came to these swamps against her will. My duty is a heavy one, but I bear it without faltering. I shall not bow, not before destiny, not before my enemies, and not before creatures such as you. She's the queen of this horizon and horizons unseen. She's the mistress of dreams and the embodiment of all mortal desires. She is wrath, and she will crush these lands to dust.
Yes, yes. Ancient as time, blah, blah, blah. You ever notice how this just kind of is the way? Like, we're dealing with people who are the subservience of a person, who is the subservient of a person, and so forth and so on.
I serve Nyrissa, mortal.
Funnily enough, we actually already learned her name. But, thanks for telling me it.
I won't do that. Besides, why would you need someone who lied to you every step of the way, concealing his true goals and his true self? Look at him. Did you know he was once one of my kind, a creature from the Outer Planes? Now all that remains of the sacred servant of Saren Ray is a husk.
Hey, Jupo. Hey, Butter. What's up, guys?
Why do we want to save him? He is our friend, that's why.
Tristan, can you hear me? Wake up.
Save your breath. This Skylark has broken his wings, and now he's useless. I'll rid myself of him after I've finished with you.
By the way, if you can't see in the background, he is basically chain praying back there. Where did Nerissa go?
She left. Where and why is not your concern. I remained only to remove any trace of her and her servants left behind. You see, these lands were our home long before you appeared. These walls witnessed another mortal who, like you, serves Nerissa's goals now. We taught him. We showed him the way. We told him what to believe and whom to serve. My eldest sister, Nyrissa. She is the mistress of half-truths, exploiting hopes and weaknesses of others with her words. All it took to control Armagh was some books and legends about his great destiny. All it took to control Tristan was deceiving him into thinking it was Nyrissa who deprived him of his holy gift. She who cursed him with a mortal body.
Lies. So that was all lies?
And all it took to control you, upstart Baron, was a lure. The promise of your own lands to rule. And you bought it. All of you. Enough. You are a thing of the past, and I must rid this place of you and Tristian. Get ready for oblivion!
Wait, we get to play Oblivion next? Oh, thank God. That's gonna be such a relief. So we fight, do we fight, do we fight, do we fight? So this feels like a boss fight. I'll turn off the cheat real quick. Now this is going to be interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop them right there. I want you to buff her right now. I want you to also pop them right there. It's a Skyrim mod. No! Where's the biggies? And why aren't they already on my bar? Biggies should be on my bar. Fire? Fire. How Aleph. Oh yeah, I should rage too. Thank you for reminding me. I always forget to rage with her. It's like the last thing I do, and it should actually be the first thing I do. Let's go and haste her. And... do I want to do that? No, I don't.
I died.
Fire! Have fun, buddy. Oh, rage makes you immune to imprisonment. Gotcha. That's funny. I'm too angry to be affected by a 9th level spell. God, magic is so weird in D&D. I think we got this.
My skill exceeds yours.
Let me tell you something before you decide my fate. Nyrissa is gone. She cannot keep me silent any longer. I'm tired of lies and deception. Our meeting wasn't a coincidence. It was Nyrissa who sent me to the Temple of the Elk. She conjured that fog and sent Jod a version of the place. Since then, I've been watching you, waiting for a time to act. For Nyrissa. But that's not all. I helped her create and plant the unwilting flower that almost destroyed your barony. As you can see, everything that happened in Mordecai's tomb was but one of my many crimes. That is all. Deal with me however you think best.
Gotta admit, it actually kind of works out, at least the way I think, where he starts off by saying, before you decide my fate, usually someone follows it up with by saying, it wasn't my fault. Instead, he says, before you decide my fate, I was actually guilty of other things, too. I like honesty. Tristan, who are you?
I am a Deva. Once a sacred servant and messenger of Sarenrae herself. Once it was my calling to heed mortals' prayers and to deliver them to other servants of the goddess. That was before I fell into a trap set by Nyrissa. She took from me my powers and severed my bond with my goddess. At least, that's what I had thought. Nyrissa threatened that if I didn't serve her, she'd never return my wings and I'd never speak to Sarenrae again. She made me... I'm lying to you again. If it wasn't for my cowardice, Nyrissa would never have broken me to her will. But I was afraid to remain mortal.
Yeah, no, I guess he might technically qualify as an ASMR now, but no, he used to be a diva.
Poor you. It must have been so hard. It's worse than slavery.
And I was very wrong about you, Tristian. I just can't decide whether I should begin to respect you as a mighty creature from other spheres, or despise you thrice as hard because you managed to lose even this divine power of yours.
Who is Nyrissa? Even though I'm actually pretty sure I already know.
A nymph. One of the most beautiful of all creatures. Most wicked of all monsters. But who she is, what she wants, I do not know. I ran across her while traveling through the negative energy plane. A strange wound, like something had pierced time and space. In my pride, confident in my powers, I followed its path to this world. She dealt with me in a heartbeat. Before I could flee, she had entrapped me, filling my mind with horrible nightmares. And when I awoke, I was mortal. I had no choice. No choice at all.
Why is she looking for the Oculus?
Nyrissa discovered an ancient power awakening beneath the tours of Lebanese. She knew of Mordecai, and she also knew of the Oculus. What she did not know is the location of his tomb. The defaced sisters and the Numerian barbarians serving them were dispatched to search for the tomb's entrance. But you found it first, and you would have acquired the Oculus if it were not for me.
Does she want the Oculus? Okay, I think she wants the Oculus to find the piece of her that Flamey guy took out. That's just my guess right now. So, why did she want the Oculus?
I don't know. After I failed her, after I failed to destroy you, she became angry with me. The only way to regain her favor was to find the Oculus of Abaddon and bring it to her. I don't know why she wants it, only that she will destroy anything in her path to possess it, including you. I beg you, be careful. She never forgets any who dare challenge her.
So, lies, sacred gift, mortal body.
When I awaked from Nyrissa's enchantments, I was mortal, no longer a Deva. Nyrissa said she'd taken my gift of immortality and severed my bond with my goddess. But, according to what the sister said, I don't understand what's true anymore and what is not. Before this, I thought Nyrissa stood between me and Sarenrae, but it seems like she was lying.
I begin to admire this nymph.
No! Just look at him! He's been lied to. And how about lying to your friends with whom you sit by the fire and fight shoulder to shoulder? I haven't seen such nastiness in a long time, and he pretended to be this goody-goody.
I love how the huge fire elemental is just kind of hanging out there during this conversation.
This was Nyrissa's creation. A strange plant with seeds that bring death to the mortals and open gates to the first world. I don't know much else. All I've done was use my knowledge of the planes to root the flower in 2 worlds simultaneously. What Nyrissa did was deplorable. But I am not blameless. Sarenrae as my witness. I didn't want it to happen as it did. But in my fear of losing her divine light, my resolve crumbled. So I did what I was ordered to do.
So about the cultists, was that you too?
Nyrissa charmed the first faithful, promised him and all his followers a paradise in exchange for your head. My job was to lure you to the trap. But Nyrissa ordered me only to lure you to the trap. She never forbade me to protect you. That's why I fought by your side in that battle.
What would you guys do with him?
Only you can decide, but I'd never be able to trust a traitor. Never.
I like lawful neutral. I can't trust you, and I know I'll never be able to trust you again. Leave my lands. Forever. Lawful evil. Attack! Ah! Stab! No, I forgive him. I want my cleric back. Besides, you know one thing that I've always agreed about the concept of redemption? Is that it has to be earned for, and that you have to actually really mean it. So in other words, internal, external. So, I think he's already got the internal, and I think I'm going to make him do the external. So this is my deal to you, Tristian. I'm going to forgive you, but your job is to make it up to me and to my kingdom. And that is not going to be easy street. It's going to be a lot of long, hard work, and you're going to do it.
Thank you. I'll leave you and head for the city. A walk will help me to figure out how I can make amends for everything.
There's another curse we got to research. God, these frickin' curses! So sick of curses! This is the worst barony I've ever been in charge of. I guess that's not saying much. I have played CK2 after all. Come, my giant flamey minion.
Can you make an epic pose? I'm need inspiration.
Damn it, Permeus, I knew it! This is your fault! How could you do this to... Oh, let's turn the cheats back on.
Fleeting.
Back to trash mode.
I need to catch my breath.
I summoned him, Bragwin. I'm actually finally playing a summoner. Like, seriously, I could summon 3 elementals, and I could summon undead. Like, lots of undead. Can I, Blackfile? Well, I feel stupid for wasting 250 BP on the other thing, then. Ugh. Ah. Oof, as they say. And again I say, oof. Where are we at? Listen, Goldflavius. As long as you don't betray me, there's nothing wrong, right? There's no issues here. I can be benevolent. Here, cheese for everyone. See? You like cheese, right? What if you don't like cheese? Alright, no cheese for anyone.
And then our leader charged forwards. Hey, wait for me. I'm writing you out of
Never had a chance.
Strike worth a legend.
Are these monsters still... the trap monsters are still here. That's hysterical.
Your life fleeting.
You remember these guys, right?
You
are outmatched.
Down better ones.
No contest.
It's getting a little revenge here, don't mind me. I mean, it makes sense. The monsters were never despawned, and I never killed them, so...
My skills exceed yours.
Who did 4 damage? Wow.
I'm writing you out of our story.
Okay. Another of the Volume 3. God, I'm never going to find Volume 1 at this rate. Alright. Well, that was fun. Yeah, it was a crit for 4 damage, by the way, in case you missed that. Okay. Well. Debate. I'm pretty sure I have 2 and 3. I could double check that, though. Or not? 3, 3. 3. Do I only have 3? 3 again. Maybe I only have 3. Yeah, no, apparently I only have 3. Never mind. Alright, what's going on here? Hey, Tristan, yeah, get back to work. Aren't I still... Oh, I get what you meant, Blackfile. That makes more sense now. Hey, look, 2 new curses. Why do those take so long? God, I would be a lot further on those if they didn't take 7 trillion billion gajillion years. Slight exaggeration. God, I have 28 days until I could go do the main plot. Well, you know what that means. And we're going to save. And we're going to hit the scrying pool. Oh, great scrying pool. Where art thine location? Giveth unto mine. I mean, we could do class quests, that's true.
I feel tired.
Where? Hang on. Hang on. Actually, let me ask a question. Stop.
When we stop.
Is the next crisis another no pause crisis? Because that's going to change my strategy substantially. Okay, there is a pause. So I know what I'm going to do then. But I don't think I'm going to do it today. What? God, you move so much faster out here. Well, there's Armag's tomb. It's right frickin' there. Okay, this is gonna sound really stupid, but if it's right there, why did I have to do that project? Hang on. Like, that's not even far. Actually, hang on. Let's do this. Let's make a real save in case I'm about to make a mistake.
I'm hungry. When we stop.
Never. Ah, fair. Black file. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. And of course, every curse research costs BP for some frickin' reason. Look at this. BP. Support. That costs time. That costs BP. BP. Oh, let's get this trade agreement. We can't. No, not yet. Deja vu, as they say. Okay. So, with that, before we actually do this place, I'm going to go ahead and chop off the local recording. Tomorrow, we will defeat Armagh, hopefully, become a king, and then deal with a lot of kingdom stuff we've been putting off. So, see you tomorrow, guys.